I literally unlocked a new type of emotions reading this manhwa. I felt sad for the main character. This whole thing was really atrocious and saddening. The ending was crazy. The emotions, every panel, like this whole manhwa, felt illegal reading it. Apparently the main character was inspired by the artist's ex. What did he do to deserve all that? Anyways, let's get started. Buckle up, because this is going to be a long ride. Everything starts from the main story, Sadistic Beauty, a very toxic BDSM manhwa that is also a reverse harem. The main story has two side stories, a yaoi and a yuri, and today's main topic is the yaoi, of course, so let's get started. The story starts with some guy saying, "Oh, you came to me on your own," and then boom, the door clicks closed and then fist starts raining on the other guy. He literally beats him out of nowhere. After beating him, what does he do next, you may ask? He breaks his leg. Mind you, we are in just chapter 1. The black hair guy then starts crying. And the worst thing that could happen to a victim in this kind of situation is the perpetrator being a sadist, which unfortunately, in this case, he is psychopathic sadist. Almost every single chapter has this type of warning, which tells you a lot, okay? So, be aware. Anyways, this side story revolves around these two guys, Minho and Wukyong. They knew each other in the main story. A lot has happened in the main story. So to put it simply, Wukyong wanted to dominate Minho for his own pleasure. He was obsessed with him, but not as much he does in this side story. And Minho falls victim to Wukyong at some point before all this. The characters can be best described as Wukyong being a sadistic psychopath, mentally unstable, needs to serve a prison and see a therapist. On the other hand, Minho, a victim, mentally unstable, needs therapy, inferiority complex. He was a pretty unlikable character in the main story, but that is not the point in this story. Minho came to Wukyong for money because Minho loses everything that he held dear, whether it's friends, his girlfriend, his work. He is a writer, by the way. He hits rock bottom, and the only way out was to seek at least something from Wukyong, who he knew also wanted something from him too. So he comes to the psychopath to get money because he thought if he sells his body to him once, at least he will get paid. But boy, was he wrong. Wukyong, on the other hand, is doing all this for the love of the game. He just wants Minho to suffer. That was and is his motive the whole manhwa until the last 5 chapters. The only thing that Minho could have done in this whole situation. Fast forward, we see Minho waking up on a random house. He looks around and he realizes he is chained up like an animal. Then he looks down and sees his messed up leg that was broken by none other than Wukyong. Minho starts losing his mind and there shows up at the door Wukyong with breakfast, and he starts shoving the food up in Minho's mouth. Minho starts questioning him about what he wants from him, and then Wukyong was like, "Just stay with me. I will do everything for you, blah blah." And that's when Minho goes off on him. One thing you need to know is that Minho uses his mouth to get back at people. Anyways, guess what the psychopath does after Minho yells at him? He beats the shit out of him and then grapes him again while manipulating Minho that he is worthless and no one wants him. He is not just using physical abuse, but also psychological abuse. After this, Minho realizes that if he doesn't fight back, at least he will not get beaten by Wukyong, which is sad, so he tries to act normal in front of him. You will think this is a normal couple having food. From here on, you will see Minho's mental health deteriorating. He has the same schedule every day. Wake up in the morning, stay home and watch TV since Wukyong goes to work every day. Does it with Wukyong at night against his will. Sometimes he crashes out on Wukyong and the circle keeps repeating. Minho starts losing sleep. Not that anyone will sleep in his situation, but the whole situation takes a toll on him until one day he breaks and starts crying because he feels so lonely and suffocating. Wukyong sees this and decides to take him outside for once. He takes him shopping and there they meet Wukyong's stepbrother. They go to a cafe and Minho sees this as an opportunity to run away and escape from Wukyong. Unfortunately, he does not reach far because of his broken leg, but at least he tries, okay? He then slips on a metal tube and Wukyong hears the sound of him falling and catches him there. At this point, Minho had no choice but to fight back. Guess what Wukyong does? He electrocutes him and takes him back home. Back at home, you know what is waiting for poor Minho? The same things again and again. Wukyong even had the audacity to tell Minho to apologize like, "Bitch, don't you see you are the one who is in the wrong here?" Minho's mental health, at this point, gets worse. He even confuses Wukyong's actions for affection. On the other hand, Wukyong becomes paranoid that Minho will leave again after that incident. Minho then starts drinking all the day for his mental health. Sometimes they talk like normal people. Sometimes Minho has mental breakdowns, and Wukyong's response to his recurring mental breakdowns are violence as usual. After this, a big incident happens. Wukyong finally agrees to take Minho to a bar, because Minho is feeling very much down and back. Then Minho used to go to bars to get off some steam, so he takes him to a bar he knows. There they meet, Wukyong's friends that he used to hang out with. Minho caught one of the guy's eyes, and the guy eventually gives him a phone because drunk Minho slipped and said he doesn't have one. By the way, Wukyong doesn't allow Minho to have a phone. This makes Minho contemplate if he should have accepted that phone, but he eventually uses it when Wukyong is not around. On the other hand, Wukyong is very busy on work, so he doesn't come home for some days, and even when he comes late at nights, so this makes Minho to even go deeper with his thoughts and drinking habit that he developed. Minho starts hyperventilating and thinks if he doesn't talk to a person, he might go crazy. So he tries to call Wukyong, but his phone was switched off. At that moment, Minho gets a call from the guy that gave him the phone, and he gets invited to a bar hangout with other guys. Minho, who was losing his mind from loneliness, accepted the offer in a heartbeat, and their shit goes down. Yup, he got physically and sexually abused by the 3 guys he was hanging out with. At first, they were cool with him because they thought he was a rich friend of Wukyong, but when they realized he was poor, they were like, wait, does that mean he is selling himself to Wukyong? Then they jumped him just like that. Wukyong gets informed and he rushes to the bar. He witnessed everything with his own eyes and loses his mind, so he started beating the guys. Minho helps him back and tells him to just take him home. I was scared in this chapter because I really thought Wukyong was somehow going to blame Minho for everything, but instead he felt remorse after this incident. He only felt remorse after Minho clocked him and made him realize that he was not any different from the other guys. In this chapter, we see Wukyong tearing up, crying, and asking for forgiveness from Minho. Like, bitch, please. Like, were you going to realize the depth of your action if this specific thing did not happen to Minho? I really felt like this was not enough, but it was not so bad at this point. He even had the audacity to slap Minho in this situation. I don't know how he somehow got overstimulated by Minho's words. Like, you do not even have the right to slap him at that moment. Anyways, he gets on his knees and begs Minho. He begs and begs and begs while crying. This was so satisfying to read. Oh my gosh, I would have wanted more, but it was good. The next morning came and Wukyong suggested they go on a trip. He thought maybe if he takes Minho out of the house to get fresh air, maybe he will get better. But boy, was he wrong. Minho's mental health got even worse after this situation, and on the whole trip, he was nonverbal, he kept on drinking and became extremely depressed. Even Wukyong did not know what to do in this situation. Minho then finally attempts. This part really showed Minho's determination to leave. He knew he couldn't take it anymore, so he did what he had to do. The panels were so vivid in this chapter, showing his thoughts. It was so good. He closed himself in another room and boom, Minho wakes up in a hospital. Apparently, Wukyong saved him late, so there was a high chance Minho couldn't make it, but luckily he did after a whole 2 weeks of coma. Wukyong looked a mess in this chapter. LOL. Serves him right. Then we get a flashback of how he saved Minho and the whole emotional turbulence. Anyways, at that moment, Wukyong realizes that he should just let Minho go and let him be happy without him. Minho then leaves Wukyong's house, finally. We see him standing on the road thinking of where he should go. Sadly, he realizes he has nowhere to return to after leaving. No one was waiting for him, neither friends nor family. It was so sad. Later, someone screaming Minho's name. He looks back and it's Wukyong looking a mess, missing one shoe and crying like a baby on the street. He begs Minho to not leave, and Minho gave in and they hugged. We see Minho's thoughts saying that he knows their relationship wouldn't be perfect, but at least they won't be lonely if they have each other. Minho holds Wukyong's hand and leads the way to their home while Wukyong is bawling his eyes off, and that's the end. If I give my 2 cents opinion of this manhwa, I feel like the best ending would have been if either of them died. Deadass. Anyways, read the manhwas on your own to get the whole experience. It's a whole level ride, I'm telling you. Subscribe and goodbye.